back in probably late '66, Tommy Riggs, who was a musician around Little Rock for many years, was the original Rock Robbins on KAAY. And Mike and I befriended him by just going down to the radio station during his show and knocking on the back door, and they'd let us in, and we'd go in and just hang out. And they had a call-in show for new releases. And so we gave him the record, and he would play the record, and people would call in and vote on the best, new release. And Lost Love was #1 for a couple of weeks.
Well, tell me how you met up with Tommy Riggs.
Just at this radio station.
Yeah, everybody knew.
Going down there knocking on the door, really.
Yeah. Was no Homeland Security. They didn't care. Just walk in.
And then after that, he did those remotes.
Mm-hmm. Did a lot of the remotes
and stuff, and we thought we were blessed. We were good friends with one of the hot DJs in town.
Yeah.
I don't think any radio station in the country ever had it except KAAY.
Really?
Yeah, and
what was KAAY?
yeah, they were the 50,000 watt giant of the South then. I mean, people heard it in Chicago on KAAY.
Was it in Little Rock?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one of the biggest AM stations in the country at that time. And, I heard it a few times on the top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
The regional top 10?
Yeah, it just flipped me out. I'd be dancing down the
Yeah,
streets. The drummer lived like across the street and 2 doors over, And you'd see us coming out the door at the same time, waving at each other. You're what's on the radio, man. Yeah, we'd go out and dance in the street. We had a hit on our hands.
There was 3 bands that was asked to open for James Brown one year, or one night. And we were only going to play one song each, and we were the last ones. And we played Shake a Tail Feather. And Phil and Mike and I had a little dance routine where we'd be waving our guitars in harmony together and shaking our butts while we were shaking our butt at the audience. And I mean, if you ever played in front of black people, you'd never want to play in front of white people again. They were just great. They were hooting and hollering and dancing and having a hell of a good time while we were doing that. And if it had been a battle of the bands, we'd have won it, just because of the song we played and the way we performed it. It was just a great time. One song.
That's all you played?
One song, 4 minutes maybe, but it was the best gig we did.
Yeah, we opened for James Brown at Barton the summer of '67.
Oh, wow.
It was just great. It was outstanding. The Flames were set up on stage, his 40-piece cooking orchestra.
Right.
And here's this little band standing out in front of them, and we did our thing, did our songs, did Shake Your Tail Feather, and it was great.
'67, end of our high school, both Mikes and I all graduated in '67.
How did that change the band?
Oh, it left. I mean, we kind of disintegrated after that.
Really?
Because everybody kind of went their own ways, yeah.
It just kind of fell apart. Like I said, we all went to college and we were doing other things. We didn't bring all of our stuff to college with us. I think Phil was kind of looking at some other bands at the time. P-Tray ended up getting drafted after a semester or so of school. And Judy and I ended up getting married, and just all sorts of things happened.
Yeah. There was a big draft going on, and Corbin tried to join the Air Force to not go in the Army, and they turned him down. Seems like he had some diabetic tendency or something, so the service wouldn't take him. And they seemed to forget Phil even existed for some reason. And Danny was too young. And boom, I was wearing green.
Really?
Yeah.
So you did go.
Oh, yeah. So, it was a little while before I even saw these guys again. I don't know. It was a really fun band because we worked hard. That kind of stuck with me through the years. I never got into a band just because I needed a gig.
Right.
never needed a gig. They were always more than I could keep up with. But that stayed with me, so I've always worked. Until I left at the end of '99 and said no more nightclubs, I was always working, and that was good, you know.